Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to Chapter 1 and Beyond. My name is Christina, I'm your host. And so today's episode of the podcast is going to be talking about some book tracking that I've been doing with my physical reads and my physical shelves and everything. So I thought that would be pretty cool to kind of break down and get that documented. Just because of the fact that I tell you about how many books that are on my shelf, and I don't think I put into context like how much I have on my shelf. So yeah, let's dive into it. Get a drink. Let's just dive right in. Oh, by the way, thank you to everyone that has been spreading the word about my podcast because things have been absolutely blowing up between YouTube and Spotify. I don't know what's going on, but there's just like a lot more activity. So thank you so much if you've been sharing the podcast with others. If you have not liked or subscribed this podcast, please do because it does help me as a creator to find out if people actually like my stuff. So yeah, let's dive into it. If you're new here, welcome. It's a little bit sometimes chaos, sometimes organized, but uh I feel like I'm having fun with this. So all right, so I'm gonna go over to my physical shelves here because I want to talk about the active series that I'm currently involved with right now. So on my shelves, I'm looking straight at them right now. I have two TBR carts. One is upstairs and one is in my basement office. And I have four bookshelves in total here. And over the course of having this podcast and even being on BookTube, I have found that I have like book hoarded a lot of books. And I had this habit up until now, I should say. I'm going to reword myself. I have had this habit up until now of like bulk buying a bunch of books that I think I'm going to like and then just not reading them at all and just continuing to book buy. But recently, since 2026 has occurred, I've been utilizing my library a lot more for like new releases and books that I know I just want to check out before I actually buy them because I'm on this stint of trying to be more aware of where I spend my money. And I think a lot of people are kind of in that situation. If you are, you know. And I have to say, it has like kind of made more of a benefit because now I have books that I absolutely love. Now, my book taste has changed over the years since I've had my booktube channel on YouTube, but I will say like a lot of the books that I have been reading lately, I feel like they are really tried and true like books that I'm gonna be able to like just come back to no matter how old I get. So I wanted to like kind of bring that up, but I was looking at I've been like trying to create this spreadsheet to better track my stuff because yeah, there's all these book apps like hardcover is fantastic. I love hardcover, but I feel like I have to rely on technology. I guess with my spreadsheet, I also have to rely on technology, but I feel like I can have it in offline mode, whereas I need a solid internet connection when I use my book apps. So I did start using Fable for a period of time, but I just could not get the gist of it, so I just got rid of it. So I've been sticking with hardcover. I have my Google spreadsheet that I've been creating from scratch. I've been creating like all of like the counts, how many, how many I'm rating when it comes to like 5-star reviews versus 2-star versus three, and so on and so forth. And then I'm also tracking like, what series that I've been involved with and which ones I've completed or which ones I'm in progress with. So I wanted to kind of take a moment to I'm going to raise my desk here, but I wanted to take a moment to go over that because I feel like I talk about a bunch of these series, but I don't think I realized until now on going through all of my shelves and my previously read book lists of how many I have active. So right now, currently on my read list, to be read list, want to read, well, physically want to read list. I have a total of 66 series. 10 of those series are completed from start to finish. But I'm in progress of reading 23 different series right now, which is kind of bad. Because I feel like with series, um, there's just like so much going on that with some of these series, I feel like I have to go back and like kind of recap myself if I take too long to, um, go through them. So, and if I want to complete it, I feel like I need to have more context, especially since now with the podcast, I want to be able to share more detail and do more reviews and things like that. Um, so yeah, I'm in progress of 23 different series. The 10 completed series that I do have is Infernal Devices by Cassandra Clare. That's the Clockwork Angel, Clockwork Prince, and Clockwork Princess trilogy that she has. I did finish that. I did finish the ACOTAR series, which is the Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. I have, for the most part, finished almost all of what is in the Potterverse for J.K. Rowling. Obviously, I finished the 7 books in the series, but I also like include like the screenplays. And the only one that I don't own and I haven't read is the Secrets of Dumbledore official complete screenplay. So I have read The Cursed Child. I've read actually, I was doing an annual reread to the original like 7. So that one's completed. The other series that I have completed is the Shadow and Bone series by Lee Bardugo. I also completed the duology for the Ready Player series, which is Ready Player 1 and 2 by Ernest Cline. Let's see what else. Miss Peregrine's Peculiar Children by Ranson Riggs. Oh my gosh, was that a good series? I finished all those books. Um, and I've been itching to do a reread of that one. And then the 2 other series that I have completed are the Winter Night trilogy by Catherine Arden, which is the Bear and the Nightingale series, and then the Chronicles of Narnia by C.S. Lewis. That's a classic. I finished that when I was a kid, um, but yeah. So when it comes to completed, not too many on the docket. Now let's talk about the in progress series. So I went through all my books, and this is what I have: the Diviners series by Libba Bray. I'm on the 3rd book, and that has 4 in the series. The Mortal Instruments, I'm on the 3rd book, and there's 6 in that series. The Poppy Wars series by R.F. Kuang, I'm on the 3rd and final book, The Burning God. I actually, um, I'll talk about in my recap episode, but I just finished the Dragon Republic, and oh my gosh, this series is so good. I did in recent months, actually, it was 2025 when I had started this series. It's the Before the Coffee Gets Cold by Kazu Kawaguchi. There is 5 in that series, maybe more than that. I know on hardcover it was showing 5. So I did finish the first, and I'm on the 2nd book of that one. The Cassidy Blake series by V. Schwab. I finished the 1st book, but I need to finish the other 2. The Moonfall series by Sarah A. Parker. That is When the Moon Hatched. That is that series. Actually, I'm up to publication on that one because the 2nd book has not released yet. Um, let's see, Mistborn. I'm actually in progress of reading book one of that one, but I do have that series to kind of complete. I have the other two. I did finish the Throne of Glass series, or not finish. I finished the first book in that series, but I have the others to complete, which is looks like six other books. So I still have those. Um, let's see, Heavenbreaker by Sarah Wolf. There is a next installment coming out in 2026, so I'm up to publication on that. I am on book three of the Time Quintet series by Madeline L'Engle. That is the Wrinkle of Time series. I am on book three, which is a Swiftly Tilting Planet, and I still have three more to go in that. Um, System Divine series. Oh my gosh, this is such a great series. I loved the first book. I'm on the second book, and I am determined to have this series done and good to go before June. There's three in this series. I'm on book two, so I only have one more after I finish book two. Um, believe it or not, I have read Sunrise on the Reaping and the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. But I was like thinking back on my previous reading, and I don't really think I actually read the original Hunger Games trilogy. So I do still have the Hunger Games, Catching Fire, and Mockingjay. And it makes me sad because I am absolutely obsessed with those movies. I love them. I cannot get enough of them. So I feel like I need to go back and I need to complete that trilogy because I've read all the prequel books. I've read Sunrise on the Reaping, absolutely bawled my eyes out. The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, absolutely love that book. Um, let's see. So I'm up to publication with the Wicked Games series, but that is by Kaylee Smith. That is the Phantasma and Enchantress series. Both books were absolutely fantastic. Apparently, there's a number three in the works on hardcover. It does not say what the title is, so I'm sure it's gonna probably be a bit before we see book three even release a title or a release date, if you will. Girls of Paper and Fire by Natasha Ning, I believe is last name. I apologize if I botched that up. But the first book in that series was Girls of Paper and Fire. I am actually on book two, Girls of Storm and Shadow. It's actually a very interesting fantasy series. Um, it is considered YA. I know lately I've been on this binge of being anti YA, but this is a series that I started. I think I had started this series back in 2022. And I feel like, it's been a bit, so I may have to go back and reread book one before I move on to book two. But I do physically own both of those books. I do not physically own the third book, unfortunately. Um, so yeah, I'm kind of looking at that too. And then I found out, oh my gosh, guys, I found out that the Alex Stern series by Lee Bardugo, which is Ninth House series, is getting a third book. Deadbeat is called the title, and I am just so excited. I've actually put it on the list for saving so that I can physically buy it. Because I do physically own both hardback copies of book one and two, and I think I'm gonna be honest. I think I have the book of the month versions. Yes, I do. So maybe book of the month will, catch me a deal or something for the third book when it comes out. I believe it comes out in September, but we'll see because you know the way things have been with publication releases, sometimes they get delayed. So yeah, I'm up to publication on that one, but I am in the process of still pursuing that one. um let's see. So the next series is by Chloe Gong. It is the Flesh and False God series. It is the first book was called Immortal Longings but I still need to read Vilest Things in Eye of Kings, I guess. I guess that's going to be another one that gets released for this. Um, so yeah, I'm really excited about that one. Let's see. Of course, we got to mention Dungeon Crawler Carl. Okay. So I'm on book 3, and I am fighting myself so badly not to binge through this series so fast. But I do physically own up to book 4. There are going to be, I think, there's currently 7 currently released right now, but there's going to be an 8th book coming out this year. So like that's partly why I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to read this. But I'm loving it. I finished book 2. I'm on book 3, which is the Dungeon Anarchist Cookbook. Um, Very excited about that one. So I am in the process of trying to get through that. I am in the process of reading Charlie Jane Anders' Unstoppable series. This is like a queer sci-fi romance series, which for me, normally I'm like anti-romance, but it's actually pretty good. Uh, Excuse me. I did finish Victories Greater Than Death. Probably back in 2023 at this point. It's been a minute since I've revisited this series. But I do physically own books 1 and 2, I believe. I do not own book 3, which is Promises Stronger Than Darkness. But yeah, I'm hoping that I can complete that series, um, because from what I remember, the romance wasn't like the primary part, which is what I like about, if there is a romance, it's kind of it's there, but it's not like in your face, it's not the center of it. Um, so yeah, and I really liked the whole concept and you know um, just overall science fictiony, nerdy stuff that I love about science fiction. Um, so yeah. Sorry, my mouth made a weird sound when I just tried to swallow. So I hope that didn't get on the podcast. Oh, I'll have to like listen through and like edit this time because I've been trying to craft better at editing. So I hope you guys are seeing a difference in the quality of the stuff in the recordings. But okay, that was a little embarrassing, not gonna lie. All right. The next series that I'm in the middle of is the Stevie Bell Mysteries series by Maureen Johnson. This is another YA that I had started eons ago. I feel like the last time I read this series was like 2021. It's been like 5 years, guys. But I'm finding out that they're coming out with another one called The Velvet Knife. But then I found out that they have Nine Liars, and I didn't know that there was another book. So I feel like I really want to keep going because I absolutely love these books. The mystery and the thriller and the suspense on it, for a YA, was absolutely fantastic. I love the concept of this series and I love where it's going. And I am really excited that Maureen Johnson continues to expand on this. So, all right, moving forward here, the Dune series. Okay, let's talk about the Dune series. So, the Dune series, I started probably during the pandemic. Um, yeah, I think it was during the pandemic when I first started this series. I read Dune Messiah, but then I got confused with the publication order and I wasn't sure which book to read next. I almost read Chapter House, which is like very well into the series, because according to the publication order, it looks like I have to read Children of Dune next. So, correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I think I still need to read Children of Dune. Then I need to read God of Emperor of Dune, Heretics of Dune, Chapter House Dune, Hunters of Dune, and then Sandworms of Dune. So, I still have a bit, but I absolutely love the second book. I mean, I love the first book too, but the second book was really, really good. And I've been told that there's like this possibly HBO series. I don't know. I haven't really gotten around to like, once I read a book, finding out if there's like a movie adaptation or anything like that. Um, so yeah, I'm in the middle of that one. It looks like I have about 6 books left in that. Yay. Um, and then the Wayward Children series, I had started this well before the pandemic and I never got around to it. And now I'm finding that there's 11 books or something in this series and I'm like, okay, I'm really glad these are like kind of novella series, so they're like under 200 pages each, which is nice. So it'll be easy to catch up because not only are they small books, but the recordings and the audiobooks that they have are really really good. I love the narrator that does the books for this series. So it does look like I have about 5 more books in this series because we are currently reading, currently on Where the Drowned Girls Go. It looks like I had finished off at Across the Green Grass Fields. But since I haven't read this series in a while, I'm probably gonna go and reread through it just so um, you know, um, just so I can have a little refresher on that. Um, Next series and final series I have to mention that I'm in progress with is the Murderbot Diaries series by Martha Wells. I thought I was much further along in this series, but apparently not. I have finished the first 2 books, which is All Systems Red and Artificial Condition, but I still have yet to read Rogue Protocol, Exit Strategy, Network Effect, Fugitive Telemetry System Collapse, and apparently there's a new release coming out for this series called Platform Decay. So, yes, we have a bit of reading to do. And I mean, with me finishing as many as I did in 2025, go check that podcast episode out of all my, recap on that. But I feel confident I could at least finish some of these series. So, am I gonna get through all of them? I don't know. But I can at least make a good progress on trying to just finish some of them, right? I mean, and for the record, most of these are series that I do own. The only series that I do not own are the Before the Coffee Gets Cold, the Cassidy Blake series I do not own. I will talk about the ones that I have yet to start. I do own book 1 of the Time Quintet series, but I am working on actively getting that. Let's see. I do own the Hunger Games series. Um, yeah, I gotta say, like, I think the only other one that I do not own is the Stevie Bell series, the Dune series, and the Wayward Children series. Oh, I don't own the Murderbot Diaries because I was getting those off the Libby app. So I guess I guess I do have a few that I don't own that I'm in the middle of, which is I guess it's okay. So all right, let's talk about the series that I have yet to start. So yet to start, I have 33 series that I have yet to start or make enough substantial progress in that I would say I have to kind of like just get going on. Um, so I have only completed about 4%, maybe not even 4% of this first book in this series, but the Stormlight Archive series by Brandon Sanderson. Yes, the series that I'm absolutely most intimidated by because how freaking thick these books are. I did start The Way of Kings. I got 153 pages in, and now I'm getting distracted with other things. So it's on my priority list. So We shall see. I do own up to, I believe, Rhythm of War. I do not own the Wind of in Truth book of that series. So, okay. So another series that I have not started, Dark Artifices series by Cassandra Clare. This would be the trilogy of Lady Midnight, Lord of Shadows, and Queen of Air and Darkness. I have had this series on my shelf for about 5 years now. This is the oldest series that I have on my shelf, and I absolutely need to get to. The next one is another one that I've had for some time, the Last Hour series by Cassandra Clare. And that would be the Chain of Gold, Chain of Iron, and Chain of Thorns. Have not started that at all. I really need to, but you know. Let's see. Crescent City series. I've been told that I had to read ACOTAR before reading this series. Well, now that ACOTAR's done, done. I feel like now I got distracted with a Throne of Glass series, but I'm also on this thing where I don't really want to read Sarah J. Maas books because I spent all last year reading through the ACOTAR series in some way or shape or form. So, and I feel like I need a little mix and matchy. So yeah, that is on the list. A Game of Thrones series. This is another series that has been on my shelf for some time. So I have a Game of Thrones, a Clash of Kings, a Storm of Swords, a Feast for Crows, and a Dance with Dragons. But I do not physically own the Winds of Winter. Um, but these are some more very thick, very dense, high fantasy books that I've just been putting off, and I absolutely need to get it done. um, okay. I'm getting sassy now, so sorry. I don't mean to be sarcastic, but yeah, like I'm just kicking myself because there's so many good series on my shelf, and I'm like, oh, why haven't you read that yet? So, um, okay. So the Age of Madness series by Joe Abercrombie. I have never read anything by Joe Abercrombie, but oh my gosh, what's her name? Elliot and Reagan off of their channels. I will post their links to their YouTube channels if you visit my podcast on YouTube. I will try to get it onto the podcast description, but it limits me on how many characters and all that. But they are the ones that had rant and raved about Joe Abercrombie, and I picked up the first book, A Little Hatred, for this series, and I have not gotten around to it. So yeah. Um, okay, so kind of going back to my YA phase. I do have the Renegade series by Marissa Meyer. This was when I was kind of going on this binge of like, hey, let's make a themed monthly TBR. And I had this idea of reading nothing but superhero books one month. And this series got purchased because of that. And I haven't read it. Haven't read it. I've heard great things about it. I just haven't read it. So hopefully we can knock that out. Because yeah, I mean I've been hearing really good things about it. I love Superman, I love Batman series, I love Marvel movies. I was getting all the vibes, like everything that I read on the synopsis and like the description of each of these books, it sounds absolutely fantastic. um V. Schwab has a series where like she's got a villains, I think, series. I absolutely want to read that series, but as you can see, I already have too many series to like freaking go through. So yeah, that's on the list. Um, Another series that I do physically own. I own the first and third book of this series, but not the second book of this series. But this is the Ash Princess series by Laura Sebastian. Um, the first book in this series is Ash Princess. The second is Lady Smoke, and the third is Ember Queen. I've been hearing um when I had purchased this series, I was hearing all about this series and how fantastic. But now I haven't really heard anything about this series like in recent years, so I feel like I need to revive it. I need to do like kind of like a little readathon to read through this series cuz I want to see what this one's all about. I own the Realm Breaker by Victoria Aveyard. I have all three of those books. Haven't started that yet. Another one that I don't hear about very often is the Something Dark and Holy by Emily A. Duncan. It's giving me all the gothic fantasy vibes, and I'm really interested to find out if it actually is gothic fantasy. But I'm very interested. This one has the first book is Wicked Saints, the second Ruthless Gods, and the third is Blessed Monsters. But I've been hearing some very um like I looked at previous reviews and I'm getting a vibe that it's probably going to be a really great series. So, um, based off of the prior reviews, like I don't have Goodreads anymore because I just moved to hardcover app and I've stayed on hardcover app. But some of the reviews I've read on Goodreads, like they rant and rave about it. But it's been years since people have picked up this series. Um, so I mean, prove me wrong. If you've read this series, let me know because I would love maybe to get some like reading sprints or a readathon thing going on my YouTube channel. So that would be fun. Serpent and Dove series by Shelby Marin, I believe her last name is. I've had this series on my shelf for some time, haven't read it. The Legendborn series, by Tracy Dion. I've been hearing amazing things about this one. Haven't read it. Caraval series by Stephanie Garber. I've been kind of hesitant because I've been told that it's like kind of very heavy on the romance. And at the time, I was like, ooh, carnival, like all the mystery vibes, if you will, with the fantasy carnival thing. But I don't know. We're just gonna go with the flow because this one's been on my shelf for some time, and I feel like I just at least need to try it to see if I'm still interested. Um, so yeah, that one needs to get started soon. I'm hoping in 2026 I can prioritize that. Courting Darkness duology by Robin LaFevers. I have Courting Darkness and Igniting Darkness physically on my shelf. I've been I was very enticed by like the cover, I'm not gonna lie. And after reading the description of these, because I was just like, wait, what is the series again? It sounds really, really good. It's kind of like on a very similar description of the Realm Breaker series, which is why I'm still very excited to read that. But um, it's a lot older than the Realm Breaker series. So, um, a newer series that I'm guilty of purchasing before I put myself on a book buying ban was the Drowned God series by Pascal Lascelles. I picked this up from the Two Bitches Reading podcast, and anything that they suggest, I will totally jump on board with at least giving it a whirl. But I do own Curious Tides, and I found out that there's Stranger Skies. Book Outlet has that book for I think like $8 right now. So as soon as I get paid, I'm probably going to be submitting to at least getting the last in that series so that I can finish the series. I know I'm supposed to be on a book buying ban, but I feel like with how gorgeous the cover is and how gorgeous like some of the artwork is in the first book, I feel like I'm gonna really be obsessed with this series, and I want to physically own it because I have a feeling I'm gonna love it. Um, Okay, let's keep moving along here. So, Skyward series by Brandon Sanderson. Own all four books, just have yet to start them. Not much to say because Brandon Sanderson is very overhyped, and I hopped on that train and absolutely am loving what I'm reading and hearing. So, The Imperium series by Rebecca Yaros, that is the Fourth Wing series. I do physically own it. I have not started it. The Ender's Game series by Orson Scott, I believe is the last name. Sorry if I botched that up. I don't have it in front of me. Oh, Orson Scott Card is the name. I have the first book, but I haven't started that series. I've seen the movie for Ender's Game and I loved it, but yeah, haven't started that yet. Um, the Action series by Demi Winters. I currently own books 1 and 2, which is The Road of Bones and Kingdom of Claw. There is a new book coming out for that series this year, Dawn of North. So that's all the Viking vibes, and I feel like I need to hit this series soon because I love anything involving Vikings. Lightlark Saga by Alex Astor. I own books 1 and 2. Have not started this series. Um, Looks like there's 3 total. So I do not own Sky Shade. So I want to see how I like books 1 and 2 first, because this is kind of like categorized as romantasy, and I'm hit or miss when it comes to that genre. The Shepherd King series by Rachel Gillig. Um, have not read it, and I own both books. So we'll just leave that one at that. The Talons trilogy by J.M. Rio. I own Ordinary Monsters. I do not own Bringer of Dust. I've been hearing so many amazing things about this series. It kind of gives me like the vibes of like the Peculiar Miss Peregrine's House, Peculiar Children. I totally botched that up, but um, it's like a group of kids, I believe, that have like special abilities, and I'm all for it. So I hope it's exactly how I interpreted this, description. But very excited about that series, and I've been hearing that J.M. Rio's writing is absolutely fantastic. Um, and I'm really sad that this series has still not been started, but Marie Lu has like a special place in my heart. She is one of my new all-time favorite sci-fi, fantasy authors now, and the Sky Hunter series with Steel Striker has not been visited yet. So I do own both of those books, and I'm hoping I can get to that this year. The next one is the Gregory Maguire's Wicked series, Wicked Years series. I own books 1 and 2. I actually got them off of Thrift Books. I do not own A Lion Among Men or Out of Oz. I also don't own the prequels, which is Elfie, and then I guess there's gonna be a new book called Galinda, that's coming out. I am, kind of on this Wicked train because my daughter is absolutely obsessed with Wicked. Um, and I've been really curious about how different this, the movie is compared to the Broadway show compared to the books. So I'm very interested in that series. I'm gonna at least give book 1 a whirl this year because I do have that on my priority list. Um, Okay. Moonfall series by James Rollins. Have not started that one. Um, I know I've mentioned that book series a few times. Um, let's see. The Wheel of Time series by Robert Jordan. Um, have not started. Have not even gotten close. I know I own books 1 through 6 in that series, but yeah, that's another series I'm just intimidated by. Um, wow, this is incorrect. I have read the Lord of the Rings series with The Hobbit. Um, I really want to reread them though, so that's probably why I have them not highlighted versus highlighted. Um, the Infinity Court series by Akemi Dawn Bowman. I did not know there was a book 2 to this, and now I'm finding out that there is going to be in the works a book 3. So now I feel like I have to at least prioritize book 1, because I've had that one on my shelf for some time. Let's see. The Last Magician series by Lisa Maxwell. did not know there is a book 4. I have books 1 through 3, have not read them. I need to get to them because they've been on my shelf for as long as my Cassandra Clare books. They were a part of my original first bookshelf. So I'm very sad that these still have not got read. But um, yeah, my goal like for 2026 is to take these old legacy series books, standalones, whatever that have been in my shelf for God knows how long and prioritize them. Like they have to get read. Like I just feel like if I don't read them, they're never going to get read. So, the Divide series by J.S. Dews. This is The Last Watch, The Exiled Fleet, and The Relentless Legion. I personally only own The Last Watch, but I'm very excited about this one because I am an absolute sci-fi nerd. If you are new to the channel, welcome because I talk about sci-fi books a lot. I hate to say it. Sci-fi and fantasy. Um, so yeah, this is a series I absolutely have to get to. The next one is a dystopian Arc of Scythe series. I've had this trilogy on my shelf for about 4+ years. Neil Schusterman is the author. Have not gotten to it. Kingdom of Cards by Janella Angels, I believe is the last name. Angeles, maybe? Angles is the last name. It is not J. It is Geles is the last name. But yeah, I have not like even touched these. I do have books 1 and 2 for this duology, and those are the ones that I have yet to start. So yeah, but yeah, that's it, guys. I will talk about in the next part of this about my standalones and talk about some of my shelves and until next time, take care, guys. All right, thank you for listening. Take care. Bye.